Hey everybody, and welcome to another edition of Saturdays on Lonis Lane. Now, this episode is gonna be fun. We're gonna talk about the Tennessee Alabama game. We're going down to Tuscaloosa Saturday night, where Alabama absolutely dominated on the scoreboard. But the stat sheet tells a different story. So, Tyler, why don't you start us off? Why don't you tell us a little bit about the stats and kind of show, it was really lopsided.
It was. So, I'll start with first downs. So, Tennessee had 27, Alabama had 23. Third down efficiency, 5 for 13 for Tennessee, 5 for 11 for Alabama. Fourth down was 4 for 5 for Tennessee, 1 for 1. Total offensive yards, Tennessee had 410 yards. And Alabama had 373. Passing, Joey Aguilar had 268 yards passing. Ty Simpson had 253. The completion was 28 for 44 for Tennessee, 19 for 29 for Alabama and Ty Simpson. Rushing yards, they had 142 for Tennessee and 120 for Alabama. We continue to say this. Alabama's running game has not lived up. Granted, Jam Miller's been gone for a couple weeks. I didn't really see Jam Miller in the second half. I saw more of Daniel Hill. And like I said last week when we talked about it, I said if Miller's not 100%, look for Daniel Hill. He is going to be able to run the ball. 244 pounds at 6'4". He is going to be that Derrick Henry size, and I think next year they lean more on him. All right, we'll stop from there. Penalties. Tennessee had 10 for 66 yards. Alabama had 7 for 59. One turnover. We had a fumble, and they had a pick six. Time of possession, 29 minutes for Tennessee, 31 for Alabama.
So, Tyler, you bring up a couple of great stats. One is the penalties for Alabama. We have heard for the last 2 or 3 years, even while Saban was the coach, that this team looks undisciplined. It just doesn't look like the same coached team. And so penalties has been a problem. But this year,
I think it's averaging about only 5 to 6 penalties per game. Alabama's offensive line is not holding that much. I'm not seeing it flagged-wise. They could be holding, but they can't. The refs can't catch everything on the holdings.
Not jumping off sides.
Not jumping off sides on defense. They're holding their water.
On offense. On offense, yeah.
And defense is holding their water there, too. You are seeing those pass interferences, though, on the DBs more common this year than we have in the past, though.
But when you see more passes, that's going to be more common.
Yeah.
Right? But, Cody, on the other hand, you see how Tennessee looked very good on the stat sheet, but there's two things that changed the ball game. The first one, Alabama pins Tennessee deep, and the next play, Joey Aguilar gets tripped up at the line, tries to throw the football away, and it's a safety.
Intentional grounding.
Safety. Foul does occur in the end zone, and then Alabama gets the ball, and then they score. And then right there at the end of half, seconds, Alabama's defense steps up big because Tennessee drives all the way down the field. They're on the 1 yard line. I mean, it's first and goal from the 2 yard line.
They're going to make it a 2-point ball game going into half.
And they stuff them twice on the goal line, and then Joey Aguilar tries to throw it outside. Tell us about that play.
So I've talked to a couple Tennessee fans, talked to some Georgia fans about it, talked to some Alabama fans, and as a coach, and I'm an offensive guy. I was running backs and the receiver coach. So I'm an offensive guy. But you get in that formation, and you get in that formation heavy, you're thinking run, right?
Yep.
You're thinking run. But you have to look at the clock. There was 9 seconds left.
Yes.
They had just burned their last timeout. You have to throw the ball. There's no way you can run the ball because if you get stuffed,
can't even get the field goal.
There's zero chance you can get set back up because as a defender, you're just going to lay there. You're going to lay on top of the ball carrier. They're not going to have time. You normally need about 11 seconds. They say about 11 seconds you can run a play and then get lined up and.
But it would have made it fourth down, so you couldn't.
So no matter what, it would have been
true.
fourth down.
This is true.
If they would have stopped them. So there
So
was
you
nothing.
can't, ground like ground.
Well, but
do
normally,
intentional
I'm
grounding.
just saying, but normally
Spike
you
it.
have
Spike it.
11 seconds to be able to spike it. So, I would say you had to know what was coming.
Yeah.
And, what's his name? Brown? Not Brown. Is it
Brown.
Brown?
It is Brown.
Brown jumped that route, and he took a chance. And it's one of those things, risk reward, and he took a chance and took off.
There was two things about the throw that was off. One, he floated it, giving Brown that opportunity to get underneath it. Two, he threw it behind his receiver. If he's up front on his receiver and that receiver has an opportunity to catch it, I think it is a touchdown. It's a tight end moving, across the field, but Joey Aguilar plants his feet, one mistake. He floats it and throws it behind him. That's 2 and 3 mistakes. He needs to move his feet a little outside, set up a better throwing lane, and get the ball there.
I mean, the tight end. We're gonna look at his real quick. He's 6'5". All right, let me go back to Brown real quick because I'm not thinking Brown's over 6 foot. I'm thinking Brown's probably that 5'10" guy. He is 6 foot. He's exactly 6 foot. So the guy's got 5 inches on him. His wingspan, that tight end's wingspan is massive, and he showed it throughout the game on a few of those catches that he had. Over the head. Why running out? I mean, you're not even in the end zone. You're barely there. So even if you catch it, you're having to reach back, and that DB's right there.
Yeah.
So if he catches the ball, even if he gets by him, yes, it's a touchdown because Brown jumped it. But I mean, it's a game.
Listen, if we look at just the stats, Tennessee dominated the game.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Tennessee dominated the game. Alabama made a couple plays that they needed to make to win that game. But if you're looking at just stats, I mean, your quarterback throws for 268. The interception kills him. The safety hurts him. And then they run. I mean, they ran all over Alabama. 142 yards rushing and 2 touchdowns.
Bishop had 14 carries for 123 yards for Tennessee and 2 touchdowns.
And so they're a really good football team. Really good football team. I think they struggle sometimes on defense.
They're young on defense. They're hurt.
Their DBs are young. And so Alabama was able to exploit them and took advantage when they needed to. And their tackling was pretty bad. You remember that one time Ty threw a backwards pass to Giovanni Bernard, and they had him. They played that perfect. They had him for about an 8-yard loss, 8 to 10 yard loss, and he got out of it and got the first down on running it.
Yeah.
It really was an incredible play. So the tackling there, that was really just all on the DBs and not tackling. And
The touchdown with Brooks, they're going into the end zone about 5 yards.
the first one.
The first one,
Yeah.
that DB, no, it would have been the second one. The first one was a rushing, if I'm not mistaken, it was a rushing
Okay.
touchdown. He was about 5 yards, and he just did that. I didn't even see any arms go out. I mean, I saw straight trying to hit him with a shoulder. And if I'm not mistaken, we can go back and look at it.
He ran through him.
He ran through him, and those other DBs and linebackers were yelling at that kid. Like, wrap up. You have to wrap up. And that's everybody, every single team, they go through that. They're trying to arm tackle. They're trying to just lower their shoulder and hit.
Lay the boom.
And sometimes you're getting hit. And you're getting ran through. And that's exactly what happened on that one. If you wrap up, I don't remember everything, every detail about the game. But if I'm not mistaken, it's probably like 3rd down in the game. You're 4th down, you're making them kick a field goal. So defense as a whole, for the whole SEC, they have to start wrapping up everybody. these big running backs that are coming downfield. You got to take out legs, but you got to wrap both of them. You get one of them. They did it against Alabama, Tennessee. If I'm not mistaken, Bishop did it. He just stepped right out of it. I mean, that's what happens. You have to grab both legs. Take them down. That's all this arm tackling, all this, well, I'm going to lay the stick, and you're getting hit. You're getting sticked.
Or jumped over.
Or
So, I think Tennessee, that puts Tennessee at 2 losses in the SEC. They lost to Georgia in a heartbreaker.
Mm-hmm.
They lose to Alabama the way they did. They're not out of the playoff race, but I think they're very much out of the contention for SEC because you're asking Georgia to lose they'd have to lose 2 more SEC games.
Yeah.
Alabama would have to lose 2. So I think you take them out of the SEC contention race, but they're still sitting there in 3.
Alabama would have to lose 3, and Georgia would have to lose
2. Because Alabama, yes.
Head to head.
So I think you take them off, but they're not out, right? I think they're still sitting there in the playoff contentions because they still have a very good resume.
Yeah.
They go from here. Where do they go, Cody?
Tennessee's got Kentucky at Kentucky this weekend, Oklahoma at home, then they've got a bye, then they've got New Mexico State at Florida, and then at home versus Vandy.
And that Vandy game may be a game that you're going to want to turn on and watch.
Yeah.
A lot can happen between now and then, I understand. But just looking at that schedule, I think Tennessee is sitting there with no more losses, sitting there looking at Vandy, who could be potentially they're in or out, and maybe a playoff game early for them.
Yeah.
So it'd be interesting to see. Now, for Alabama, though, they just wrapped up a 4-week stretch of top 25 opponents. You play at Georgia, you play Vandy, then you go to Missouri, and now you play Tennessee. You won all of those games.
Yep.
How scared should Alabama fans be this weekend?
I mean, like you said, Taylor, I feel like it's a South Carolina team who really has nothing to lose and could potentially bust up everything for Alabama. Not saying it will potentially throw Alabama out of it, but if I'm not mistaken, Ole Miss has played.
A loss this late would possibly throw you out.
Because Ole Miss plays them after us, Texas A&M, then they got Clemson. So really, they only have 3 SEC games left because they'll play Coastal and Clemson.
But even then, like, it doesn't throw Alabama out of SEC contentions, but it puts you at, like, you're sitting at the end of the year 10-2, but it is a trap game. This is a game where you can walk in very easily if Kalen DeBoer doesn't have their minds focused. Now,
It's been a completely different
But
Kalen DeBoer lately.
Yeah.
it has been, and I get that.
I would say it's been a complete, total different Alabama team.
But let's look at, what's the spread for South Carolina?
It's 11.5 as of right now.
double digits favorite on the road.
Is he wearing a
Alabama
black
is
hoodie?
what, 2-4?
Is he wearing the black hoodie though?
I mean, statistically, this should worry Alabama fans. And that's not to say that we think that Alabama is going to get beat, but if you don't go in there with the right mindset, now when you look at the locker room, words from the locker room, when they beat Missouri, there wasn't no need to talk about a 24-hour rule. They were already focused on Tennessee. After that loss, it was all business. Here we go with Tennessee. Let me tell you something. They were all smoking it up on their cigars Saturday night, and is it very easy to look past a struggling South Carolina team towards LSU? Because I believe they have LSU after South
Got a
Carolina.
bye week.
They
Got a bye week and then LSU.
So it gives us a chance to, one, get healthy, and kind of not have that trap mindset is, hey, we have to focus on South Carolina this week. We have a week off to prepare to go into LSU, a struggling LSU team. But we're not talking about Beamer ball or Scott Beamer being a potential hot seat candidate But he could potentially, if he don't change it around for South Carolina, with having your, just like Billy Napier, having your quarterback that you need to win. Here's my thing. I think there's Florida has already fired, Arkansas already fired, South Carolina potentially, Ryan Kelly at LSU potentially.
Not Chip Kelly.
Not Chip Kelly, like you said. So, I mean, there's a potential 2 coaches, but I don't think LSU will fire Brian Kelly. I think Brian Kelly will leave on his own anyways.
Now, Cody,
Sorry.
you have been on the coaching side of these games, type of games.
They're tough.
What do you go in the locker room and say to this team to make sure that this doesn't become a trap game for you?
You know, it's one of those things. You almost coach harder these on weeks like this than you have to for weeks for like Georgia or Tennessee or even Vandy for this team. These are the weeks as a coach you have to coach harder. You have to put in the mindset, hey, this team took us to the wire last year.
And very well could have beat Alabama.
And was a play away from probably beating Alabama. Well, Norris Sellers is a stud. He's hard to bring down. He can run. He can throw it. They've got a running back transfer from... Where was he from? He transferred... Hold on, let me think.
What's his name?
Utah State. And he is solid. And he's hard to tackle. They've got guys all over the place. They've got some receivers that have absolute world-class speed. You just keep drilling this in your head, and you don't want to tell them, hey, this team, you're going to walk in there and get beat.
I forgot about the track star they have.
Yeah, I mean, they've got a legit, like, world-class track star on their team.
Yeah.
Playing receiver who can run. So you drill it in their head where they are, this team is really good, and they're a player or two away from being just like us at 6-1. Or, you can't let the record show. Shane Beamer is going to game plan and have them ready. If I'm not mistaken, a former Alabama head coach is their offensive coordinator. Anybody want to help me out on that and who you think they might be? Any guesses?
Is that Mike Shula?
Sheila.
Shula's over there?
Sheila's the offensive coordinator for South Carolina.
Okay.
So a little revenge game for him.
Well, he was there last year, too.
I know, but still.
And here's the thing. In Beamer Ball at South Carolina, I'm pretty sure they got the Alabama game circled this year because of what happened last year. Just like with Alabama for Vandy, South Carolina has it for Alabama this year because of they were one play away from beating Alabama last year. So I know that South Carolina has it circled because they want that revenge game of we should have won that game, but it come down to one play.
So, to wrap up this Tennessee-Alabama game, Tennessee, you played great.
Absolutely.
I don't want you to take Tennessee fans don't take anything from this game other than, you take away a sack and a pick six. If that guy makes the tackle and Brown doesn't get into the end zone, you may be looking at a different game, right? So hang your hats on the I hate to say moral victories, but that's what it is. Those are there. You're a couple plays away from taking down a football giant, a team that you haven't beat in Tuscaloosa since 1993. It's been a long time.
That was 2005 or 2000.
Nope. It was the 90s. Since the last time they beat them in Tuscaloosa.
Okay.
So don't hang your hat on oh man, let's just get to basketball because they are ranked in boys basketball and girls basketball this year. So I know you like basketball, but football's not over for you yet. I think there's still plenty to see. I think that Vanderbilt game may have some meaning at the end of the season. Alabama, on the other hand, just keep playing, right? Ty Simpson, keep being the Heisman Trophy candidate that you're looking at. And not only will you win the Heisman Trophy, I believe you're going to be in the SEC championship game. You're definitely going to make it into the playoffs picture, which Alabama got snubbed out of last year. But you've got to be careful. You've got to remain that captain, and you've got to look at this game this week as a game that you can't let slip by. Okay? But great game. It was fun to watch. And
there's two players that I want to mention that we hadn't really talked about real quick before we get off here, and I hate to cut you off. Ryan Williams had a bounce back game.
He did.
From struggling most of the
catching
year.
balls out in front, diving on the ground, catching balls. It was very good.
Had a rush for 16 yards as well.
Yeah, Jack.
And then one other guy that I really want to mention, who we don't, I mean, I've mentioned him making that one play, was Giovanni Bernard. He's the Swiss Army knife for Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
They say he can absolutely sling the rock, and we were about to see it.
Yeah.
They can line him up in the backfield and turn around and hand it to him. We can get out there and run some of the most crisp routes I've ever seen.
Now, he was a quarterback in high school.
Yeah.
Yes.
So he came out of high school, a QB. They moved him over to wide receiver. He could have went to the draft and was going to.
Mm-hmm.
Ty Simpson sweet talked him back in, and I forgot they told a joke, and I don't remember what it was talking about a QB wide receiver. Oh, Washington, because he originally went to Washington.
He was with Penix.
Yeah.
And he's so Ty goes up to him and says, "Hey, this could be like a Penix and what was the receiver's name?"
Yeah, you would say that.
Anywho, one of those type relationships. If you're able to come back, and he says, "Yeah, but I don't have Penix here."
Yep.
So funny little joke. Ty, I don't think he took any offense to it. Michael Penix Jr. is doing a great job. He may be hurt this weekend. We don't know for the Atlanta Falcons. But it was a great game. It was great. It was a late game. I'm not a huge fan of late games. Give me the 3:30 games all day long. I like to be in bed by 8 o'clock. I'm like Dad. My alarm starts going off at 8:13. Hey, it's bedtime. So, staying up late just isn't for me anymore. It really never was. But, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you haven't already, remember to hit that subscribe button. We've got 55 subscribers so far. Looking for many, many more. And we want to have, we'd love to hear from you. So, we'd love to have your comments. Let us know what you think about the show. Let us know where you think we're wrong. Because I promise you, we're wrong. But the great news about it is, guys, even the professionals, the experts, they're wrong all the time.
Yep.
Guys, I hope you have a good one. And remember, every day is Saturday on Lone Line. Y'all have a great day.
Thank you, guys.